Change of fear for love. Seraphus Bay. Fear is an energy that you create and stimulate your being in response to the circumstances, experiences and even mental processes. Fear is an aspect of ego which is there to protect them and safeguard them as physical beings on earth, and that was even strengthened in humanity. Enhanced to the power of fear as well as an instinct or impulse protection in order to become a way of life, a constant experience and an inner voice that guides. Fear was originally present to encourage them to become aware and alert, with observers from any hazards in your surroundings, and yet, fear stimulates many to become unconscious and unaware of its truth, its senses and the Creator. As ascended masters observing the earth, we can see that fear is used as a tool to create stagnation and separation from the Creator, and weakening of its inner truth. Fear, in fact, has always been present in the physical body, however, not so much power as it is now. Fears are increasing due to the current circumstances and past lives, in many people, such as energy patterns, because now is the time for that fear to return to its presence and original purposes, to allow the East Soul the way forward, more once. You may be using the energy of fear, patterns of your past or past life fears as a tool against themselves because of conscious or unconscious beliefs to feel unloved or unworthy. Unfortunately, some people realize that fear is a tool that can be used to condition, control and harm others, to create a false sense of power and illusion of their importance and ability to give orders. Though others may create circumstances, situations and experiences, knowing full well that this will create fear in many, if you choose to become aware of and attentive to its own energy and emotions, they may realize that fear does not always have to be turned on or awakened in you, as a response. Fear seems to be a natural response in certain situations, and yet makes you become heedless, separated from the Creator and unaware of the sacred power into your being. If releasing the prospect that fear is a natural response, you realize that the ego enjoys the fear, because it means that you will not get out of your comfort zone and be content with what is familiar, so the physical expansion, mental, spiritual and emotional will not occur. One can even say that the soul will not be able to achieve its divine purpose on earth, while you allow the East fear and control aspects of your being and your reality. Imagine if your answer to everything in your reality and your world, or a disaster of major proportions, or a painful experience, was compassion for themselves and for everyone involved. Imagine if all the experiences of his past, which led them to react with fear, be altered, erased and replaced by compassion. What would seem your energy? What perspective do you have about the world, and even fear exist or would be recognized by you? With a history of compassionate responses, how would you react or feel about the areas of your current reality that are causing fear reactions? Perhaps the current situations would not even manifested. Remember that resistance, frustration, anxiety, stress and worry are also aspects of fear. Even in the most dire circumstances, you have the right to react with fear? Yes, you do have the right. However, imagine how they would be curated or react with compassion. Allow the light and vibrations of healing of the Creator to flow into your being. You would be more open to accepting the support and intervention divine and would be more attentive to their intuition, the shared guidance messages. This would allow each situation were illuminated with light, love and peace for themselves and for all mankind. Imagine if every person on earth chose to respond with compassion, fear would be eradicated and goodness would be the energy that would be consolidated instead. Love is born of grace, the unconditional love of the Creator, which can be shared expansive and abundant way. When the Creator's love is present, any and all things are possible and able to manifest with ease and perfection. Change your reaction from fear to compassion simply requires that you understand and are observers of a few points. Fear is not your truth. Fear does not belong to you, you have no fear. You may be energizing fear and expressing it in circumstances where your reality, however, fear does not exist in the truth of your soul, so fear is not your truth. When you choose to release any fears arising from within your being, you will see that the fears are actually released and eradicated of your being. Sometimes the fears are persistent and yet, with its constant focus on releasing them, you will recognize the increased freedom in your being. When they realize that their fears do not represent who you really are, then, they will find it easier to leave them aside. When you want to release the fears, you are encouraging to observe them free of judgment and attachment. Observe the fear and be consciously aware of them. It is the most powerful tool to get rid of the habit of fear, because being aware means you are ready to make changes. It's not your natural existence attack each other with fear, is the love that you can give generously themselves. With the distancing of fear, you will be able to think, feel and recognize more clearly. Ability to forgive. When you are aware that responded and were influenced by fear, to forgive, know that this fear is a habit and a conditioning that you and humanity energized and conferred power, will take time and will require dedication to change this conditioning. Fear can be a reaction, however, with awareness, there is no need to stay scared. The influence of forgiveness, after the emergence of fear, will act as a gap in its energy and a way to activate the vibrations, mental processes and compassion of emotions, from the inside of your being. With forgiveness, you enhance the fear distancing process and consciously choose to manifest a reality of love for themselves, regardless of what occurs in your reality or challenges that have to go. The ability to forgive only requires an intention, however, when practiced regularly, you will notice a nice habit to forgive forming. Understand the compassion. I am the source of compassion. Allow yourself to declare this statement during meditation or in moments of tranquility. Look out where in your body you can connect to the energy of compassion and its presence felt forming in your being, so that you become so familiar with compassion as if you knew what are your tastes, smells and sensations. When you get used to the vibration and the inner experience of compassion, you will find that they are more willing and even excited to have been given the opportunity to share compassion with yourself and with others. Consequently, compassion will become a beautiful routine and standard in their emotions, thoughts, all being, reality and manifestations. You may also wish to declare that claim to aid in internal activation of compassion. I am compassionate, I am kind, loving, caring and attentive. Choose manifesting compassion from the fact of my being, so that it becomes my standard response to reality. I now allow the Creator to answer me through people and circumstances, with compassion and pure love. This is my truth and experience now. There are many events taking place on earth right now, causing terror, pain and suffering involved in and also those who witness them. Many of these situations are manifesting because of the lack of love of people and the strengthening of his ego, because of their inability to accept the love of the Creator, thus causing inflict pain on others. When we observe these circumstances from a broader perspective, we also recognize the positive changes that occur due to these facts. As the pain and suffering are witnessed by people around the world, compassion is activated in many. This activation of compassion opens the heart chakra of the individual and allows the healing energy of your soul and the Creator of the universe to flow through them, raising the energy frequency of Earth and humanity. This often is an unconscious healing activation that happens and that also brings a deep healing for the person, so those who do not remember the truth of the Creator into your being, are being awakened as they discover reacting with compassion. As a light worker, is your purpose stimulate compassion that is being created around the world, so that those who are unaware of the truth of the Creator within you, so do not arouse fear, after his compassion was shared. To energize the compassionate souls worldwide, so that they can stay in a place of compassion and move for love, instead of going to the fear, you can simply say, with the support of Mother Earth and the Creator, I now emano, from my soul, sacred light waves leading to compassion in order to strengthen the compassion of the Creator within each person on earth. The earth is a place of compassion and love forever. This is our collective experience. The heart invites them to be love in every moment of your reality. It is through compassion, and your awareness of the fear that you can manifest and support others to experience the deep love of the Creator, revealing thus the age of love on earth. With eternal and compassionate love. Master Serapis Bey.